I deliberately threw the wine bottle on the ground, but my wife caught it. Clearly, just not an ordinary person. I kept chewing the meat in my mouth for a long time because I suspected that my wife of 10 years might have poisoned me. In fact, we were both top-minus-tier assassins. We always thought the other person was just an ordinary person until we received the same mission with the same target. Our true identities were finally exposed. I walked into the storage room, grabbed the equipment I needed, and ready for the tap. Meanwhile, my wife went into another room and entered a password. A hidden compartment slowly rose, revealing knives and handles. She was ready. Her team had already planned pipe bombs on the mission's flank. She waited patiently for the target to appear, but suddenly, I drove in. My car scraped the device, almost setting off the bomb. My wife called and see who it was. She only saw someone carrying a rocket launcher. She shot first, knocking me down. Luckily, I was wearing a bulletproof vest, realizing she had walked into an ambush, and immediately fired the rocket launcher. I got my hands on my wife's broken computer. Not long after, 2 different organizations issued the same order within 2 hours. Identify the target and use the information on the computer to eliminate. I found my wife's office address. Turns out it was her company. On the surveillance footage, my wife also saw a familiar figure. That figure was me. That night, I returned home with a tense heart. My wife smiled, holding a glass of red wine. I didn't dare drink it and secretly poured it out when she was looking. She walked into the kitchen, and I immediately grabbed a knife and slipped it into my pocket. Just then, she called out loudly for me to grill the meat, but I still kept my eyes on the knife in my hand. I pretended to cut meat, clutching the small knife tightly. She pulled out a bigger knife from her thigh. I set my knife on the table, took a bottle of red wine from her hand, and poured a glass. Then I deliberately let the bottle slip, and she instinctively caught it. We eventually understood each other's secret. We set off at the same time but in different directions. I grabbed my gun, only to realize my wife had already driven off. I tried to chase her but accidentally discharged my weapon, shattering the car window. My wife suddenly turned the car around and rushed out. That night, neither of us could sleep. The next morning, my wife and her team thoroughly cleaned our house. When I returned, even my hidden room had been empty. I headed straight to her company, where she was destroying evidence in the office. Our teams evacuated as planned. When I pushed open the door, everything was gone. I tracked another address, but upon arrival, I was trapped in front of an elevator. A heated argument broke out.
Go on, blow it.
Any last word?
The new curtains are hideous.
Goodbye, John. What the hell was that? You said goodbye.
Countless complex emotions surged through me. She returned to the hotel where we first met, tears streaming uncontrollably. Just then, a familiar voice sounded behind her.